My name is Heather, and I'm here today to talk to you about stem cell research. There are many different capabilities that stem cell research has, and I find it something very important for our future that we know what stem cell is and the benefits of it. That way we can realize what it applies to our future. I think stem cell is going to be very important, and that today I'm going to show you the many reasons why I believe so. I got all of my information, just to let you know, from Stem Cell Basics, an introduction in stem cell information, the National Institute of Health, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It was published in 2002, and the last date that I was on the website where I got my information was October 30th, 2014. So, stem cells have regenerative capabilities. That means that they can change in many different forms. Stem cells can change our lives, and I'm going to tell you why. Stem cells can transform into many different types of cells. So that means that they have many different capabilities in science. You're probably wondering what that means for us. Well, they can transform into many different cells. Usually when they do that, that will take place in the early growth or development of the cell. So stem cells are many different tissues. They can repair tons of different systems. So they can also develop without a limit of replenishing. So imagine that. We have one type, so say somebody loses their arm, and we need to figure out what can we do for them. In the future, I definitely see that stem cell research can help replace that person's arm or a part of their body that they may have lost in the future. Like, think of a starfish. You know, a starfish loses one of its little stars. They can regrow that. That's kind of like what stem cell tissues will do. So it can divide into a cell with more defined functions or stay a cell. It just depends on what you kind of play with when you're making that cell do what you want it to do. It could be a muscle cell. That stem cell could be a red blood cell, or it can also transform itself into a brain cell. So say someone develops cancer and they need to regrow a part of that body or whatever tissue they may have damaged with that surgery or whatever took place. Stem cell research can help them regenerate that part of their tissue or brain or muscle, whatever we're going to do with it. That's amazing. You know, way back when, that was not even a thing. But now if someone loses part of their brain, muscle, whatever it may be, we can now play with that and possibly get that part of their body back into them. So since it can become a tissue or an organ-specific cell with specialized functions, we now have the capability of helping someone who in the past could not function without that part of their body. That cell has the opportunity to replace or repair worn-out tissue as well. Imagine that. Repair worn-out tissue. Create human parts of your body. That's pretty amazing. It can replicate many times. So not only can it fix one part of a tissue, and now you have that tissue built back up or that muscle built back up, but it can do that over and over again. So say part of your arm was torn up so bad that you needed to have a stem cell put in there, that way you can help that muscle go back together. Well, once we put that stem cell in there, that will help that regenerate and keep helping it regenerate. That way it not only will just connect and stay connected, but it will make sure that your body doesn't reject that as well. So proliferation, as replication is also called, is used during the cell division that can also help, that also has led to cancer. So that means that in the future it's also very, very possible that stem cell research can help cure cancer. Now, think of the many people in your life that you know have had cancer. I'm sure in many of your lives you know people who have had cancer. I myself know quite a few people in my family who've had cancer. Now imagine that. Stem cell research curing cancer. Wouldn't that be an amazing thing? I mean, I'm sure I know that a lot of people that I wouldn't want to have cancer or get cancer. Now, imagine them playing with that and possibly in the future helping completely cure it. Now let's think about this. Not only can stem cell research help find a cure for cancer, but we can also use it to treat diabetes and heart disease. How many people in your life do you know who have diabetes or heart disease? I know everyone is concerned about getting those. Nobody wants to have those. So if stem cell research can help us cure those or even treat those, that's something that we would want to keep around and help fund. Stem cell has also been used to screen new drugs and develop model systems to play around with. Now, what does that mean? Well, when we're screening these new drugs, we want to make sure that they're not harmful to potential candidates. So they use the stem cell research to create tissue to play around with to make sure that it's not harmful to anybody. It's also used to develop model systems. That way we can find out what causes birth defects. Imagine that. Kids, babies, future human beings not having to deal with the birth defects that they were originally born with. Wouldn't that be amazing? So someone who has a cleft lip or, has a heart malfunction, something, anything, brain tissue. In the future, stem cell research can help us figure out why that's happening and figure out what we can do to change that. Stem cell research is an amazing thing, and all of the different possible things that it has the possibilities of doing is something that we should take consideration into. Can potentially cure cancer and diabetes, can help determine the causes of birth defects, can use to screen new drugs. These are all great things, and we want to keep this in our life. And that's why I think stem cell research is such a great thing, and we should definitely keep it in our life. And again, all of our information has been received from the website Stem Cell Basics, an Introduction in Stem Cell Information. Thank you for listening, and I deeply hope that in the future, if someone asks you about stem cell research and why it's important, that you will be able to explain to them why it's so important and the causes and reasons why we should keep it in our life. Thank you, and have a good day.